All right, you've seen an ad somewhere, you went on Facebook, you've seen a Craigslist ad, you maybe have received a solo ad, and I had this name called Cryptex on it. What the hell is Cryptex, right? And it takes you to a video, you watch a little video, and then it shows you the amount of money that you can get paid out, and you're thinking, well, that's for $100. No way $100 can do that. That's an impossibility. So the next thing you do is you come here, you go to Google, it says, I'm going to research this thing, cryptex.to. I'm going to research this thing, see what's going on here. So now you're here, you start scrolling down and you see all these things about Cryptex. So you start clicking on these links. I'm not going to do that because you guys have already done that. So I'm just telling you how it typically goes. And from the conversations that I've had with people, this is how it goes. So you come to Google, you start searching, and you get on these that are complaining and bitching and moaning about Cryptex and how big of a scam it is. And then you go to the big gatekeeper out there behind MLM, and he tells you, what a scam it is as well. So that's it. You believe that and you walk away and you never tap into this opportunity again. You've walked away completely ignorant because someone was a disgruntled person about it. They didn't like it, or they just don't believe that it is, without doing any research of their own, any investigation to find out and get to the bottom of this thing called Cryptex, right? So you yourself probably come in here on the community and start, going on these threads and typing, yep, it's a scam. It's a scam. This can generate $35,000, $22,000, $471,000, or even $1.5 million in 2 to 7 years. That is an impossibility. And you never actually did a deep dive and you pass it off as another crypto scam, when in fact, you're looking at the greatest wealth generator I have ever seen. I've been online since 2005, and I've never seen anything what Cryptex is doing. When I got this, I did a deep dive. I thought, no way. Called my sponsor, asked a bunch of questions. He didn't know much. He was a new guy. He took me further up line to the big shots, and I had a conversation for about an hour about this thing, and they're gracious enough to answer all my questions. I thought I came away with it just hard to believe that so many people don't see it. So the point here is, when you come here and you do your research, it's all fine. You do your due diligence, you're supposed to. But most of these people, what you're going to see, have not purchased any contracts, have not funded any money. And if they did, you had some people, I funded my money, never went there. That's not on Cryptex. That's on you. You put the wrong wallet address, or, you got Bitcoin and transferred over to Bitcoin Cash or something like that. It's not Cryptex's fault. It's your fault. I've got 95 contracts and I've funded it half a dozen times or more, and it shows up every single time without failure. This is why we got isolated websites. Let me show you something. See this here? This is what I call an isolated website. When you don't go to websites, somebody just shows you a video, you're all over the place. You're trying to put the puzzle together and you can't quite make the connection. Some of us, not a whole lot of us, only a few of us have put a website together. I've dug in everywhere on the internet to find the best of the best information. I went on every WhatsApp group. I went into Facebook and all of that. I grabbed the best information I can to put it all in one central location. Why is that? Because you'll get a better feel for it when you got everything in one central location instead of looking all over the place. All over the place. You're over here on this video platform. You're over on Rumble. You're over on YouTube. You're doing research on different search engines. So you're not putting the puzzle together, and it might become a little confusing for you. So the point is, you have to have an isolated website to condense the information so you can get an honest review of what this thing is about. So if you kind of go over here and you start getting into these threads over here, you're in trouble. You're going to pass the opportunity that could make you wealthy in 2, 3, 5, and 7 years. Just saying. It's common. This is what people do. They don't take a deep dive. You go in these threads, they say, $100 can't do that. They said, trading can't do that. They don't trade. We don't trade. We don't crypto trade. We really have nothing to do with Bitcoin. Our contract's $100 processing fee borrows $30,000 and $40,000 to the banks that sits in the back of our banking account or staking account. And then we supply liquidity to the exchanges like crypto.com, like Coinbase.com or Binance and all these other ones. You supply liquidity so traders can come in and out of trades. And every time there's a transaction, right, there's a fee associated with it. That's what you're getting paid on. That's what you're getting paid on. It's done by smart contracts, people. Smart contracts are exact every single time. If people says, I can't find the CEO, I know that. It's embedded in the blockchain. Let me show you something. Now, the blockchain ain't something you can see visually, but we give you through internet kind of what it is. It's all just coding, right? Cryptex is built into the blockchain. It's woven into it, and it's controlled by smart contracts. It's embedded in here. There's the websites you see. That's not a website. They're just wallets. But the actual structure of Cryptex itself is embedded in the blockchain. Therefore, it's uncorruptible. It's unstoppable. And it's done by smart contracts that control everything. They pay out the banks, pay out the insurer, they pay out you and I. They pay out the insurance companies their money every month, and they pay out the banks. And it's exact every single time. For almost 10 years, this thing has worked flawlessly. So if you're looking, what is blockchain? This is blockchain. It's woven into this thing. It's invisible. It's built into it. And basically what you're seeing here, just as a picture, because you don't know what blockchain is, just giving you an idea what blockchain is. Just technology, right? It's technology that's once set in place, it's incorruptible. Right? So you got to just imagine they're just protocols and code. This technology just keeps running flawlessly as Bitcoin has for the last 16 years. But the blockchain, it can't run. So you got to imagine Cryptex is just embedded in this, the protocol, the contracts. Everything that we do on Cryptex is embedded in the blockchain. Our wallets are just what we look at, but the actual system in and of itself is in the blockchain. That's why nobody can see. That's why there's no CEO. That's why it's anonymity here. That's how it works. So what I want to say, people, is you can go to all of these internet places and do your due diligence, and it's fine. No problem with that. But make sure you understand why you're saying no. That's the biggest thing. You have to understand why you're saying no and why you're calling it a scam. Is it based on someone else's research that has no idea what it is? I went through a handful of YouTubers and I replied to them. You're ignorant and have no idea what you're talking about. You're giving out false information. This takes an investigation. Bitcoin's anonymous and so are we. Outside of Bitcoin, I think Cryptex is just as innovative as Bitcoin in and of itself. To pass this on to you, just do your due diligence. Just don't be quick to make a decision either way on what this is or what it isn't. Just don't go on the internet and start reading comment after comment after comment. Those people have never purchased a contract. And in fact, we got 1 million account holders right now over the last 9-10 years. Not one person has ever come forward out of all of those that says, I never got paid out on my contracts. But what we do have is we got a bunch of people who have been paid out on their contracts and we're willing to share screenshots and a live video that it is. Remember, in 2017, Cryptex came into fruition. Back then, it was just 5 and 7 year contracts. So there was no way to see any proof until 5 years later, right? 5 years later. And now we're starting to see it. But don't put it off as some scam just because somebody else says that. Do your own due diligence and look into it yourself. And once you understand it, you'll realize it's the greatest wealth generator the world has ever seen. Until they come out with something better, this is it. So do your due diligence, but choose wisely. Don't just say no. Don't just run around and call it a scam without your investigation. Go through the videos that we have provided here, an isolated page, so you don't get confused and jumping all over the place and you start reading too much of the negatives out there. And we've got more than enough proof here, undeniable proof on the blockchain of people actually withdrawing money. So this is why we create pages, right? So you can have the correct information and that you can stay focused on what this really is and make a wise decision whether this is for you or not. Hey, this is David. I appreciate your time. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.